We bought a van, guys. We finally did it. We found a great deal on a 2018 3500 Ram Promaster as 2019 is coming to a close. We have great plans in store for 2020. We can't wait to bring you guys along for the build as we see this thing transform right before our eyes. Yes, you heard that right, guys. We sold our beloved 2017 Toyota Tacoma for a 2018 brand new Ram Promaster van. A red cargo van. We're crazy, right? Well, yeah, maybe slightly just a little bit crazy, I'll admit to that, but I'm sure you guys are all wondering why on earth would you trade that beautiful truck for a van? Well, ultimately what it came down to was what suits our needs as a family of four the best. We're considering something that's a little bit more convenient and enclosed than what our current setup is. We looked at travel trailers, we looked at RVs, we looked at motorhomes, class A's, B's, C's, pop-up trailers, teardrop trailers, I mean, you name it. We looked at everything. We settled on a van and we get to build it. How cool is that? So why? What about the van really was appealing to us? There's the shelter aspect from the elements and people and animals, all of the above. The navigation component, the van that we have actually fits very nicely into a regular parking spot. We don't have to be concerned about taking it into national parks and having size restrictions, navigating it around tight turns or backing it up, with the trailer, how much of a pain in the butt that can be sometimes. There is the fact that you can be a little more stealthy in a van versus a pop-up tent trailer or any other kind of RV type trailer. The fuel economy on the truck, while we were pulling the trailer, we averaged low teens, sometimes 9 single digits miles per gallon, especially if we were going uphill or if we had quite a bit of a headwind. So fuel economy obviously is going to be a lot better in something like a cargo van that's meant to haul things for a distance. And then the convenience, right? With 2 young kids, right now they're 6 and 3.5. We want to be able to get to camp late in the middle of the night and not have to worry about setting things up, right? Or breaking things down. If it's raining or if it's cold or it's just kind of nasty and yucky outside or it's late, we want to be able to get to a campsite and just be there all enclosed. Or just pull over on the side of the road if you want to take a nap or just hit the bed, hit the sack real quick, you're there. Now, you guys are all well aware that our current setup, or past setup now, was the Crux trailer and the Tacoma. The Crux has served us so well. We've made so many great memories. So with the Crux, basically, you have to open the tent, number one, take the top of it off, and then you have to pop the thing open, and then you have to go inside and shimmy the poles up. Day in, day out, breaking that thing up and down, it just kind of wore on us a little bit. I think it's perfect for weekend warriors who want to go get out for an extended weekend or a week-long trip even. So all these things kind of played into what fits our needs best as a family with 2 kids. While we love our Crux trailer, and it's also going to be very difficult to let go of that, we found that for long-term extended travel, something like a van is going to suit our needs as a family a lot better. So now that we settled on a van, we had to figure out which one are we going to go with. A Ram Promaster, a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, a Ford Transit. If anybody knows Kurt, then you know Ford was probably the number one thing already X'd off that list. Sorry, Ford. He's just a diehard Toyota guy. We went back and forth about 100 times between Sprinter versus Promaster. So, what did we do? Well, of course, we went to a van life rally. We went to go see them. We walked inside them. We talked to people who own them. We talked to some of the companies that build the vans out. We went to Mercedes-Benz dealership here in Knoxville, which little did we know, they are, I think, the top dealer of Sprinter vans in the entire United States. They had a ton of inventory. So we walked there one day. He took us for a little test drive. He got us the keys to a few. We got in there. We took some measurements. We sat in the driver's seat. We touched them. And then we went to the Ram dealership right down the road. Looked at some Promasters on our own. Got in those. Again, took some measurements. And it was just really good for us to, again, kind of see, touch, and feel and figure out what was the cost to these things. We literally wrote out a list of pros and cons for each of them, and in the end, the Promaster won out for several different reasons. The overall cost of having to own and maintain a diesel engine versus a gas engine, finding parts for a gas engine versus a diesel engine in country and out of country, finding the right type of fuel in country and out of country. It's going to be a little harder to find an ultra low sulfur diesel, especially if you're out of the country. The oil changes and the filter changes, a lot more expensive on the diesel. We also considered if there was something to go wrong with the Sprinter, there is no limp mode on the gas engine. So that's something also to consider if you're out in the sticks and you just can't go faster than 10 miles an hour. You know, it's going to be a while before you can get somewhere if you need help. Just repairs overall are going to be more costly than they would be with a gas engine. And then there's the obvious sticker price. It's about a 12 grand difference if you're comparing apples to apples, both similar models. And in the end, that's an extra 12 grand that you could put into the build of the van, right? Now, I will give it to the Sprinters, the looks. They definitely, hands down, have, I think, in my opinion, probably the best looking van out there. The aesthetics on the Sprinters are spot on. The garage is probably a little bit bigger in the end when you're looking at the Sprinters. The living space between the two, if you actually consider the living space behind the seats, the driver and the passenger seats to the fender well, when we did all our measurements, it actually was pretty comparable. You know, the Sprinters might be a little bit more narrow, but they're a little longer, and then the Promasters are a little bit wider but shorter. So anyway, square footage wise, the living space was pretty comparable. It's just the Sprinters might have had a little bit bigger garage space. And then of course the Sprinters have a 4-wheel drive option, and there's not a 4-wheel drive option on the Promasters. So our solution for that is a winch that we'll probably put on the front, and we'll replace the bumpers as well. And then of course we'll probably get some good all-terrain type tires, KO2s or something like that. For those reasons, the Promaster won out. So now what? We bought a van. Now what? Well, we plan to do a van build series. This is just the first installment. If you've seen a few little clips and hints on our social media feeds, you know that we've already got started on the project. We're super excited to see what's going to come of it. We've already got our floor plan laid out, and I think we've pretty much nailed it the way that we want it. We've probably written that over 100 times as well. I'm sure there's going to be some highs and lows, like there usually is in life. But we'll be real, right? There's so many people out here doing this, and for our family, we felt like we just couldn't find any videos for a family of 4 that we could relate to. We got a lot of great inspiration from other YouTubers and do-it-yourselfers, but this is something truly unique, designed to fit our family needs, and we hope to inspire others that might be considering something like this as well to take that leap, right? To go ahead and do it and pull the trigger. In the end, I hope that we have something beautiful that we put our own blood, sweat, and tears into, and we can document it for you guys, and then of course we can go travel with it. Yay! Hopefully we'll have it done enough to make a trip out west later this year. We're thinking Yosemite or Yellowstone later this fall. We might have another trip or 2 in the mix with or without the van. 2020 is going to be about building this van out, and then we'll see where it takes us. We can't wait. We already have some great places in mind that we'd like to take this bad boy. Side note, we probably will be selling our Crux trailer, which is going to be hard to do, just like the truck was hard to let go of. But we're on to bigger and better things. So if you are interested, drop us a comment below, send us a message on Instagram or Facebook. Our email is in our description below. So however you want to contact us, just get in touch and we'd be happy to talk about it. We appreciate all the love and the feedback that you guys have given us. We hit a milestone in 2019 with 1,000 subscribers, which was huge. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate it. Please continue to like and subscribe if you're not already, to follow along the journey. So that's it, guys. I hope that explains it. If you have any other questions that weren't answered here, let me know. Be happy to answer it. Can't wait to see how this turns out.